Hello, and welcome to Ask Mama Amy, a podcast promoting practical advice and resources for strong mothers. I'm your host, Amy Shao, single mom and estate planning attorney and founder of Shao Law. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to have Niki here, the owner of San Diego Mom's blog. And I've known Niki for many years, and it's so exciting for me to be interviewing her today. Niki, hi. How are you?
Hello. How are you? I'm so excited to be here and so excited to be a part of this.
Same here. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what led you to your journey to being the owner of San Diego Mom's blog?
Well, it definitely is, kind of one of those stories, I guess you could say, where something negative happened in my life that kind of pushed me into this direction. But definitely so grateful for everything that has happened, whether it's been hard or a trying time. But yeah, my opportunity with San Diego Moms, I guess, came from the end of a relationship with my daughter's dad. So kind of the transition into single mom life. I was volunteering as an events coordinator for San Diego Moms at the time. And when all of those things were happening, the owner at the time was ready to kind of transition on. And I was like, you know what? This is just such a great opportunity. I was in love with the community. I was in love with just everything about it. Because I mean, being a mom is a lonely journey as it is. And so to have to think about going back to work where I'd have to leave my daughter for such a long periods of time, the opportunity to become the owner kind of came up, and from kind of a hard situation came a lot of light and love and support that I am so grateful for.
Wow. I love the story. And it's one of those struggles as a mom, like you said. How old was your daughter at that time when you took it over?
She was 2. So,
oh gosh, really little.
Yeah. So it's kind of, you're going kind of full speed ahead with everything, but, to be able to take her to a meeting or to have her, on a call or to do those types of things, before COVID, those things weren't really an option. It wasn't as accepted, I don't even think, which is one of the positives, I think, of COVID is that, we have different lives at home, and we have, obviously our jobs are important, but our families are most important. So I feel like one thing positive from COVID definitely has been the acceptance of our roles outside of what we do and at work, so it was.
So what would, I know, like, and what would, so with becoming a mom, it sounds like it became that opportunity just kind of happened. And with your daughter and everything just kind of fall onto your plate, and it just organically happened and it just blossomed.
Definitely. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me, honestly, because I didn't have a ton of mom friends down here. It's kind of like that built-in community of, we have 40 writers that literally have become like family to me. And then obviously everybody that kind of just is involved in the community to have that support kind of built in. And they have to like me because I'm I'm just kidding. But no, but I mean, it's just so nice because it's so hard to meet other moms and connect. So it was a great opportunity and kind of a built-in support network when I really needed it. So
what would you say was the hardest thing that you ever had to deal with on this journey as a mom and as a business owner? And how did you overcome that?
Oh, gosh. I mean, I have definitely always struggled with asking for help. Always. I think that's just always been one of the things that I can do everything on my own, or I can do it. But, I think once you become a mom, the sooner you can realize that you can't do it on your own, the easier things will be. And that's, it's definitely been a struggle, but I will say like the hardest thing was obviously transitioning from a family to becoming a single mom to becoming a business owner. And it was a lot at once. And I definitely tried to do it all on my own at first. But when you have kind of that support and network and people to rely on, and you feel comfortable asking for help, obviously things just became a lot easier for me. And so it's definitely the hardest time, and it was hard for a few months. And then once I realized that I can rely on other people and I had that, community there and that support, things definitely started to change. But it's still a challenge. Balancing time, and obviously it's great owning your own business and having that flexibility, but you obviously, I work way more than I did when I went into the office because I could leave. So
yeah,
it's a constant challenge.
It's a balance right now. It's like whenever you're not with your kid, then you're working, or like
yeah. As soon as she goes to bed, my laptop's up. But it's also the most rewarding thing because I love it. So I think whatever the saying is, when you love what you're doing, it doesn't really feel like work. So.
And I admire you so much, Niki, like just looking at you, like running your own business. And it's so much, like you said, having to take your daughter everywhere and manage everything and wait until she goes to bed and all these coordination, contacting the vendors and everything. It's a lot. And I would totally break down any moment. And so I'm curious, where do you get your strength from? Like at that moment when you're just like, I know I certainly have had several moments like that as a mom, not just several, actually multiple.
Yeah.
many
happens often.
And so when that moment happens, how do you help yourself, or how do you mom yourself to put it all together, or just keep going?
I mean, honestly, I don't know that I have an answer to that question. I definitely think, even though I say like, it's easy for me to ask for help now, it's still not easy. It's it's still a process, and I'll still try to do it all. But then I come to that realization, I guess, sooner than burnout. So like before I would go, and then I would get sick, or, just things became more important. But definitely my daughter has been the reason that, there's my partner, that's kind of helped me realize that I can't burn out. I can't not be there. I can't, you know what I mean? So before, when I used to do that, it was just me and my dog. So sorry, my dogs didn't get that walk today, but I can't, my daughter's a little bit different. I want that time, and I want that. I want her to see me working hard, but I also want me to see her committed to her and committed to myself as a individual, and to be a little selfish. It's funny. I've started working out in this program. I've really been very committed to going to the gym 3 times a week, which the first thing to go for me has always been working out. I'm like, I'm too busy for that. But you know what I mean? And
I totally know what you mean.
And it always has been. And it's been so great. And I just did this post on Instagram because it was just like, she's coming with me to the gym and watching me, even though she fights and, tooth and nail to go. She's like, I want to go, blah, blah, blah. Like, the other day she kind of just was like, not that she said, I'm proud of you, but and not so much in those words, but it was really cool, and I think it's important for our kids to see us put ourselves first too, so they learn to do that later in life. But I also want her to know she does come first. But I think if there's something for the greater good, like working out or investing in yourself, so you have more energy, so you can actually invest more, like focused time in your kids. It's really important to separate everything and set your work aside and focus on your daughter, Yeah,
so. I really like what you just said. Like, you and the fact that you acknowledge that it's hard to ask for help. I'm totally the same way. But then at the same time, you also mentioned, you also thought about how in the long run, like if you just burn out, then there's no one here to watch your daughter. So you're thinking long term, like in every aspect, in a very holistic way. Like how can you actually build a sustainable you to be there for your daughter? And I love that way of thinking. And you're taking care of yourself, and you're setting a really good example for your daughter.
Yeah. Took 38 years, but you know what? I figured it out.
At least you figured it out. Some people never ever figured it out.
I know. And it's a work in progress for sure.
And so what would you say, so it sounds like you get a lot of strength from just reflection, just you being reflective of who you want to be in this world, and your daughter, looking at your daughter, she reminds you as well. And are your families in town, or are they in another state?
They are not. They're up in Oregon and Hawaii, which, very, very far away, but we do make a very intentional effort to get home to Portland every few months. Thankfully, her dad's parents are here, and sister, and they're absolutely incredible. The relationship too, which has been a work in progress of co-parenting and co, extended family and things of that nature. I do feel like I have support here with them and with her dad and things like that. So, but that took time. And so there was 3 or 4 years where that wasn't there either, and everything was hot water, so I think it really does, you have to put yourself aside too in a lot of those instances, which again has really come with a lot of counseling and a lot of work and a lot of just reflection of, you know what, she is first in everything. And what's best for her is that I have support here and she has the support, so she can also, everything can kind of coexist. So,
Yeah. And you just mentioned something that's so critical, like for especially like single moms or like blended family situation where there's extra layer of, complete, it's just complicated. Right? You have to deal with all these different dynamics and then setting the ego aside and all these different things. It can be stressful.
It's a challenge. and like I said, it's not easy. I might talk about it like it's easy. It's definitely always heavy on my heart and it stinks. And there's a lot of things that I wish, were different, but at the end of the day, this is what it is. And I want to make the most, like build the foundation for what it should look like long-term. And so it's good to have the support for sure.
Yeah. And your daughter definitely see you like, making the best out of the situation. And that's just so admirable and just really awesome.
Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about how San Diego Moms Block support the local moms in the community.
So, you know what? I mean, just from, I guess I'll talk about it pre-COVID. Obviously, we're an online parenting resource. So a lot of what we do is online. But what I loved most about it, and as an event planner kind of by trade, was all of the events and the support. So we would do everything from entrepreneurial like masterminds to support moms who want to start a business or have a side hustle. We would bring in experts to teach education and do luncheons. Also just do a ton of fun events where like there's sip and shop events with, food, drinks, and entertainment. We always have Anna and Elsa there, or for our upcoming family safety event, we're going to have Black Widow and Spider-Man. So, my goal is to have with the community, like to always provide tools and education and resources at the events, but then also make them fun, because really bettering yourself as a mom, whether it's in business or like maybe it's learning about something with this event, like safety related, there has to be a way where parents can have those resources and go to an event, learn, and then we entertain the kids and keep things fun and active. So I definitely think that's one aspect, it's a great way to meet other moms because it's hard. And we also do a ton of community service. Actually, kind of how I got introduced to San Diego Moms was a group that I had started called Bad Moms. And we actually weren't bad moms. It stood for building a dream. And the whole kind of concept was like my mom used to take me to feed the homeless, which probably was very dangerous, like she would have me on her back and we would be out in Houston feeding the homeless. And I just remember from the time I could walk, giving back in some way, shape, or form. And I wanted to create a way for other moms to do that, because now obviously to me, things are different, likely from when I was a child. And I don't recommend that per se, but you know what I mean? So I wanted to create these opportunities and events where, your kids could see you volunteering and could see you giving back and having that attitude of service. Because if we don't teach it to them now, like when are they going to just all of a sudden one day be like, oh, you know what? I want to give back. That's not like necessarily like an educated or taught in school. I think that's something that's learned from home. So we would do monthly events where we would give back to the community, and sometimes they'd be offsite. We'd be building, backpacks, and I would drop them off to the nonprofit later, because there is a lot of issues or age restrictions when you volunteer. But to me, like if you start volunteering at 10 years old, they're probably not going to want to do it. Whereas if they've been volunteering since they were 3, 4, 5, they're going to want to do it at 10. Like it's a part of what they do and it's part of their DNA. So I feel like my mom really did a great job with building that and instilling it in me. So
well, I like that nonprofit and charitable giving aspect of the San Diego Moms, and you get to like have a group of moms to do it together and just instill that concept in the kids.
Yeah.
And the kids all hang out together and help other people out. Yeah. and make it, and they can like dress up as superheroes or whatever.
Yeah. No, I mean, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, that's so awesome. So how can people get in touch with you if they want to learn more about the events and how to just get more involved with your organization?
Well, you can head to our website, which is sandiegomoms.com. You'll find a ton of great resources and guides, everything from planning a birthday party to doctors and pediatricians, pediatric dentists, things of that nature. We also have, like I said, 40 volunteer writers who, share a lot of emotional pieces, and they put their heart on paper, and, hopefully there's a lot of things you can relate with. Instagram also is a fabulous way. We're at San Diego Moms Co. So San Diego Moms Co. And you can find us there. We post everything kind of on the blog, Facebook, Instagram, and everything San Diego Moms Co. when it comes to social.
That's awesome. I'll post the links in the show notes as well. And so in parting, what is your definition of a strong mom, and any encouraging words for our moms in the community?
Well, I am just so grateful that the definition of strength has evolved and changed, because it's no longer doing everything on your own. And I think just lean into people, lean into your friends, lean into family. If you don't have that, reach out to communities like ours. We're just one of many groups in San Diego too, so, I think just reach out. And I think the definition of strength really is that point where you recognize that you can't do it all on your own. And it's okay to kind of lean into other people, because when we think we can do it all on our own, that's when our tempers maybe rise, our patience is shortened, and things like that. So I think the definition of strength really comes from that point where you realize you can't do it on your own, and you're willing to ask for help. And like I said, it was a journey, and it was a lot of heartache and things that got me to that point. So hopefully people can get to that point without having to go through those types of things. But to me, strength really lies in that moment where you can, like you said, set yourself aside for your children and for yourself, and lean in.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, Niki, for all that you shared today. Thank you a lot. We appreciate really a lot. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you for joining us today on Ask Mama Amy. Head over to askmamaamy.com for all the show notes and links you heard in today's episode. You'll also get my free legal tool for you to name legal guardians for your children, so that you can leave them with abundant resources to support them and a total peace of mind. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review to tell us why. See you next time, mamas.